In the beginning, there was no sound, only the hush of nothingness, the quiet before the pulse. Then came a whisper, soft and ancient, curling through the void: water. It was not born with fire or fury, but with patience, seeping, gathering, carving canyons from stone, cradling life in its invisible arms. Before the first breath, before the first word, there was water. It is the element that remembers everything. It has tasted the tears of empires, mirrored the stars long gone cold, and surged with the rage of storms that tore the world apart. It trickles through veins and rivers alike, murmuring secrets older than time. And though we claim to name it, stream, tide, rain, blood, it eludes us, ever shifting, never still. These are the words about water. But no language can truly contain it. Only feel it. Only fear it. Only follow it, down into the deep.
What is water, biologically? It is the pulse behind every living thing. From the smallest microbe to the towering blue whale, water is the stage, the script, and the unseen actor. It makes up 60% of the human body, fills our cells, cushions our organs, and ferries nutrients like a silent courier through an endless maze. No cell divides, no heart beats, no breath is drawn without it. Life emerges in water. Embryos float in it, plants rise because of it, and ecosystems revolve around its moods. Without water, biology is a story unwritten, a flame unlit. What is water, chemically? It is hydrogen oxide, deceptively simple, breathtakingly complex. A polar molecule with a bent structure, water is the great dissolver, tearing apart salts and sugars, metals and memories. Its hydrogen bonds are weak, yet together they create a network strong enough to hold oceans and fuel storms. It defies physics, expanding when frozen, climbing trees against gravity, absorbing heat without flinching. Its boiling and freezing points are miracles of molecular balance, perfectly placed to support life as we know it. Why does it matter? Because water is not just a substance. It is a condition. A force. A paradox that is both gentle and violent, constant and ever-changing. It binds the living to the non-living, the chemical to the biological, the earth to its atmosphere. It does not just support life, it is life, wearing the mask of something ordinary. Water is the quiet architect of existence. Without it, there is no story. With it, everything begins.
How much water is on Earth, and how much can we truly use? Earth holds about 1.4 billion cubic kilometers of water. That's 100% of the planet's water supply. It seems infinite. But look closer. 97.5% of that water is saltwater, locked in oceans, vast, undrinkable, untamed. Only 2.5% is freshwater. Of that, nearly 69% is frozen solid in glaciers and ice caps, beautiful, but unreachable. Another 30% lies deep underground in aquifers, hidden, ancient, and costly to extract. That leaves less than 1%, just 0.3% of all freshwater, flowing in rivers, lakes, and accessible reservoirs. That is all we have to drink, to farm, to live. But even that sliver is threatened. Pollution, overuse, and climate change shrink it daily. Water vapor swirls in the sky. Ice clings to mountaintops. Drops trickle through rocks. But only a fraction of a fraction is ours. So out of 100 drops of Earth's water, 97 are salty. Of the remaining 3, only 1/3 is reachable. That's less than 1 drop in 100 we can actually consume. This is the paradox, a planet of water, yet a world at risk of thirst. The abundance is an illusion. The scarcity is real. And in that drop, our future.
Water is not just Earth's story, it's written across the universe. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has found frozen water in a ring of dust around a young star, 155 light-years away. This icy ring could one day help form new planets, showing that the building blocks of life may be common in space. Closer to home, scientists studying pieces of asteroid Ryugu found tiny salt crystals. These salts suggest that liquid water once flowed inside the asteroid, billions of years ago. It means that even small space rocks once held warm, salty water, just like early Earth. Together, these discoveries reveal something powerful: water is not rare. It drifts around newborn stars and hides inside ancient rocks. It's a quiet but constant presence in the universe, shaping planets and maybe even helping life begin. From distant stars to broken asteroids, water keeps showing up, telling us we're not alone in its story.
Why has water, above all elements, become the soul of our rituals? Across religions, water flows through sacred acts, carrying prayers, purity, and transformation. In Hinduism, the Ganges River is not just water, it is divine. Pilgrims bathe in it to cleanse sins and offer ashes of the dead for spiritual liberation. In Christianity, water marks the beginning of faith through baptism, symbolizing rebirth and salvation. From holy fonts in cathedrals to riverside ceremonies, the act of immersion or sprinkling becomes a passage to the divine. In Islam, water is essential for wudu, the ritual washing before prayer. 5 times a day, Muslims purify their hands, face, and feet, not just to cleanse the body but to prepare the soul. Cleanliness is deeply spiritual, and water is its sacred instrument. In Buddhism, water is offered at altars as a sign of humility and clarity. Ceremonies often include the gentle pouring of water to honor ancestors, express gratitude, and cultivate compassion. Whether it flows through the streets of Varanasi, shines in the marble fountains of mosques, trickles from church basins, or rests in bowls beside a Buddha, water is more than matter, it is meaning. In every drop, humanity seeks renewal. In every ritual, water becomes a bridge between the earthly and the eternal.
What happens when the very source of life turns toxic? Water pollution is the contamination of rivers, lakes, oceans, and groundwater, often caused by human actions. Factories dump chemicals, farms leak fertilizers and pesticides, and cities pour sewage and plastic waste into waterways. Every day, over 2 million tons of sewage and waste enter the world's water. Oil spills, industrial runoff, and mining operations poison once clean rivers. In developing countries, around 80% of wastewater flows untreated into the environment. The impact is deadly. Polluted water kills over 1.2 million people each year. Children suffer the most, with diarrheal diseases from unsafe water being a leading cause of death in those under 5. In India's Ganges River, sacred yet severely polluted, millions bathe despite toxic levels of waste. In Flint, Michigan, lead-contaminated water caused a public health crisis. In Bangladesh, arsenic in groundwater affects tens of millions. Polluted water harms fish, kills ecosystems, and threatens global food security. Lakes become dead zones. Oceans fill with plastic. Even bottled water is not always safe. Studies found microplastics in 93% of bottled water tested globally. Water should give life, not take it. When we poison our waters, we poison our future. Clean water is not a luxury, it is survival.
UNESCO and partner bodies have revealed both alarming dangers and hopeful signs in global water trends. On the frightening side, the World Water Development Report 2025 warns that over 4 billion people, over half the planet, now face water shortages, as glaciers melt and rainfall patterns shift. English.com. UNESCO/UN water reports 2.2 billion lack access to safely managed drinking water and 3.5 billion are without proper sanitation. Dataviz.unesco.org. Droughts between 2002 to 2021 affected 1.4 billion people, with nearly 25% enduring extreme water stress, using over 80% of their freshwater supplies. Dataviz.unesco.org. As UNESCO Director General Audrey Azoulay states, water crises threaten world peace, given the heightened risk of conflicts and displacement. Dataviz.unesco.org. Yet there is hope. UNESCO's World Water Day 2024 showcase of young water pioneers saw 61 Southeast Asian youth launch innovative local water solutions, ranging from ecosystem-based conservation to smart monitoring tools, dataviz.unesco.org. And existing transboundary agreements, like the 2002 Sava River Framework and the revived Lake Chad Basin Commission, demonstrate that regional cooperation can stem conflict and restore resilience, dataviz.unesco.org. Revelation: while water may fuel global tension, it is also sparking grassroots innovation, and the next generation may be our greatest hope.
Water is life, yet the world is on the edge of a water crisis. Water security, the guarantee of safe, sufficient, and accessible water, now stands at the heart of our global future. According to the UNESCO World Water Assessment Programme, 2024, more than 2.4 billion people already live in water-stressed countries. By 2050, water demand is projected to rise by 20 to 30%, driven by growing populations and industries. The Aqueduct Water Risk Atlas, using satellite imagery and on-ground data, reveals that many major cities, including Cape Town, São Paulo, and Chennai, have come dangerously close to running out of water. Another startling fact: 70% of global freshwater is used for agriculture, much of it inefficiently. Even bottled water is no longer a safe haven. 93% of global samples were found to contain microplastics. As climate change intensifies, floods, droughts, and shifting rainfall patterns are reshaping the water map of the planet. Without urgent reforms in water management, infrastructure, and conservation, over 5 billion people could face water shortages by mid-century. The final truth is unsettling yet clear. Wars of the future may not be fought over land or oil, but over water, the world's most essential and threatened resource.